Big breaking news in the world of Nintendo Switch 2. Guys, we're in the hot seat. We're on the fast track to the speculative release date of the Nintendo Switch 2, which is slated for sometime in 2024. It's looking like the rumor is September, but there's some big news going on. We've talked about potentially leaked specs. We've talked about potentially leaked major studios that are going to be working on Nintendo IPs. It's exciting news. Real quick, if you're brand new to this channel, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that sub so you don't miss any of the Switch 2 news that we're talking about. Now, as with any kind of rumor, anything like this, take it with a grain of salt if it hasn't been confirmed yet. But this is pretty much confirmed right here. So there's a new survey that came out at GDC, which is a gamer development conference type of thing where a whole bunch of game studios and developers go and kind of meet up and show off their stuff and talk, and it's basically networking, right? But there was a new survey that is revealing a huge number of developers that are already working on games for the Switch 2 as we speak, and this is exciting. So there's 8% of developers that were at GDC that have claimed to be working on the next Nintendo console. Now, 8% at, I guess eyeballs glance doesn't sound like much, right? When you're like, oh, it's just 8% of the guys at that. Well, guess what? That's hundreds of developers that are confirmed to be working on the Switch, which is kind of quite interesting when you look at the number. Now, there's not much that we know about the Switch 2 at this point. It's completely confidential. They haven't confirmed anything. We don't know details. We've seen conflicting reports of specs and details of, other features of the consoles. But at this point, it's one of the biggest, worst-kept secrets at this point. We know it's coming. All Nintendo has to do at this point is let us know when and when, right? Because we know it's coming. There's no if, it's when. We've been seeing reports for the last year or two about the Switch Pro and the Switch 2 and whatever you want to call it. I like to call it the Super Nintendo Switch. And then there was even rumors that it was shown behind the scenes at Gamescom last year. I wish I would have been behind those closed doors. I wouldn't be able to keep a secret, NDA or not. And it seems like all these reports and speculations are coming near daily, and this one is the biggest. So it's 8% of the developers there that were surveyed. So that is 3,000 developers total surveyed. 8% of that confirm that they are working on games for the next Nintendo console. That comes out to a number of 250. So if you look at 250 developers, that is fucking crazy. Now, we don't have any names. We don't have any, major studios confirmed, but we're pretty sure the usual suspects like Capcom and them will be working on it. But this is actually interesting. This is thousands of developers that went to one event, massive AAA games, massive third-party games that will be coming to the Nintendo successor, which is really exciting. At this point, this is the only confirmation we have of anything confirmed for the Nintendo Switch 2. On top of that, 32% of those surveyed claim that Nintendo's next console is a platform that is most interest to them right now. Like, they're all eyeballs in. They're all waiting to see what's going to happen. And, of course, it's still kind of early in the game. If you don't know the actual confirmed specs, some developers might be taking a wait-and-see approach because they want to be able to put games that are on that console without having to worry about them not being, compatible with it. They might be too overpowered. Developers want games to come to consoles that people could play. And if a game console can't support a video game, there's no dice. Kind of like how rumored GTA 6 is too powerful for the Switch 2 specs, which to me, that was a little bit of a disappointment. Now, again, not much is known about this. We've been touching lightly on some of these rumors here. We saw some of the specs. We've seen the storage issue, which I think is a big bummer. It's exciting, though. I'm a Nintendo fan. I started with Nintendo, so anytime a new Nintendo console is rumored to be coming out, I'm going to be paying attention to everything, whether it's a rumor, whether it's some kind of speculation, nothing. You know what I mean? I'm going to be focusing it. If you remember when the Switch first came out, I basically directed almost all of my focus on my content on everything Nintendo Switch for like the first year or two of the lifespan of that console because it was exciting to have something refreshed You know, it saved Nintendo essentially because the Wii U was such a freaking flop. And I think it needed to die in order for the Switch to succeed so well. So now that we're getting these rumors that the Switch 2 is coming out and it's going to be an iteration of this hybrid portable / dock console thing, and we're seeing specs that are conflicting, and we're hearing different things like, oh, it's not going to have an OLED screen. Oh, it's only going to have 64 gigabytes of memory. Oh, it's going to have 900p native, and it's going to have this. It's going to have this frame rate. It's exciting to hear all of this. And yeah, I know there's a group of y'all out there that are like, Eric, nothing's confirmed. You need to stop spreading stuff and acting like you're an industry insider. Nobody's claiming that here. I am a fan of Nintendo, just like you guys watching this. So seeing that there was a survey of 3,000 developers surveyed, and over 200 of them said that they're working on the next Nintendo console, that's exciting to me. 250 possible developers working on games right off the bat. That's 250. And then if each of those developers are working on, let's say, 2 projects at least, multiply that. And, you know, I don't know how development goes or how fast stuff can be developed, or who knows how long these developers have been working on the games. They possibly could have already been working on some of these titles for at least 2-3 years, because we've been hearing the rumblings of a Switch 2 for at least, I think, since at least 2020, right? 2021, that's when I started seeing a lot of Reddit posts and things like that. So this is exciting, all right? It's still unconfirmed, but it's widely believed that we will be getting it September 2024, and it will be sticking with this hybrid portable dock console model that they had such a success for. So 250 confirmed development, right? And I'm excited. And not developments, developers. 250 confirmed. I'm just stuttering all over myself. That's how excited I get about the Nintendo Switch news. And I want it to be good. I want it to be a banger. I know I made a video recently saying that I felt that the specs were a little disappointing from what we're reading. And, you know, ultimately, as somebody that's a consumer, I always want the best type of product out there. I know there's people out there like, oh, I'm just fine with my Switch. We don't need a new console. It's 7 years fucking old. Are you going to be wanting to play crappy, underpowered games like constantly? Get with the times. When the Switch 2 comes out, it's rumored to be as strong as a PS4 Pro. When the PS5 mid-console comes out, it's going to blow that all the water, and we're going to be back to square one. So that's where I was getting with that. But the fact that it seems like we're already getting a lot of developer support this early in the game and we haven't even had anything confirmed is exciting to me. I think the sky's the limit with the Switch 2, or the Super Nintendo Switch as I like to call it. So let me know your thoughts on this as far as hearing the news of these developers developing the games and the confirmation of it and stuff like that. What do you hope? What's your bucket list as far as studios coming and developing games? What would you like to see on the Switch 2 that might not have been on the Switch or even the Wii U? Comment down below, guys. Fill those comments up. Smash that fucking like. I'm tired of asking you guys to hit that like button. Hit that like. Hit it like, I don't know, like a fucking piñata. And thanks. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.